when people break bones in their body, or when I hear like fingers crack, like, because it makes you shiver a little bit.
Arachnophobia of spiders and insects. But
yeah, I do. I'm scared of spiders.
Yeah, afraid of heights, high heights.
Yeah, heights. Any needles, having blood taken or vaccinations or the dentist needle, any needles.
Heights.
And do you know why you have this fear?
I didn't even know I had it until I went up. I was in Israel and I went up to Mount Assad and I had to go up a rope ladder at the side, and that's when I discovered I had it.
I don't know, just feel uncomfortable.
Probably because I'm tall.
I don't enjoy listening to it at all.
So when I was pregnant, I had a massive blood clot when I was only 6 weeks pregnant, and to keep the pregnancy I had to inject myself with heparin twice a day in my stomach for the whole pregnancy and 3 months after. That gave me the phobia.
There are so many types of fear, so it's a fact that everyone has or will have experienced a type of fear in their life. Did you know that there are more than 400 distinct phobias well recognised by psychologists? And did you know only 23% of people with phobias seek treatment? 40% of phobias start before the age of 10. 95% start before the age of 20.
What I do is I don't look down and look across.
So I wouldn't go up steep ladders, etc.
I have learnt a relaxation technique. And the relaxation technique I learnt was to think about my favourite place or my favourite thing, and I would close my eyes and think about that and not think about the needle.
Fear is the inability to face up to something that frightens you, terrifies you, even terrorises you at things, but it's something that you're very anxious about. That would be my definition.
So in psychology we think of fear as an emotional state or an emotional response. So now you know what a fear is. What exactly is a phobia? We think of phobias as sort of that irrational fear and when it becomes a problem in your everyday life. Well, a phobia is something far more terrifying. It's an indescribable feeling of terror that has an impact on one's daily life.
I have a fear of spiders. They just creep me out. Like they're just freaky looking, and I just don't like them. They just seem unnatural. It was one time that I was like in my bed and like a spider like crawled across my body and it really freaked me out. But like it didn't hurt me or anything. It just scared me. I don't know why. I think when I was younger I was more scared because I didn't really understand like that they couldn't really hurt me and that I was like kind of bigger than them. But now I'm older. I'm okay with some, but a lot of them like freak me out. I never really had like a time when I was just like, I had a traumatic experience, I was just scared of them. I had no idea why I was scared of them.
So from a behaviourist point of view, we look at the idea that actually you learn to be scared of certain things, and it's that association between something and that fear response. So it's about learning, if you've learnt this fear response, you've learnt to be scared of something, and therefore that's going to affect your behaviour and how you would behave towards that stimulus. The brain is a complex organ. More than 100 billion nerve cells comprise an intricate network of communications that is the starting point of everything we sense, think, and do. There are dozens of areas in the brain that are involved in fear, but certain parts of the brain play central roles in the process. At first, the thalamus decides where to send the incoming data. Then the sensory cortex is activated. It's what we see that stimulates the brain. The hippocampus then stores and retrieves conscious memories. The amygdala decodes emotions, determines the possible threat, and stores fear memories. And finally, the hypothalamus activates the fight or flight response. So it's all about your fight or flight response in your body. Your sympathetic nervous system is aroused, the adrenaline goes around your body, and it's that fight or flight response to the thing that you're scared of.
My name is Jack and I have a phobia of trains and wasps. Ever since I was younger, I had a weird phobia of noises that would just randomly come up in your ear. So eventually I found out what wasps were, and they terrified me. They were absolutely horrific, to be honest. Now when you're much younger, pain and everything seems much more to you than it really is, so I got really worked up about it and it hurt much more than it probably should have. So growing up, that has continued throughout my life, and it stuck with me of how that felt. The most recent time I got stung, I remember hearing a buzzing. I looked down, I felt something in my shoe, and there was a wasp trapped in between my ankle and my shoe, and I got stung, and honestly, it was just not a good experience. I hate wasps to this day. They're ugly, they're annoying, and they make weird noises. As for trains, I think trains are much more scarier, because just like the fear of flying, I have the ridiculous fear of the train being derailed. I don't think I need therapy for wasps, to be honest. I might need therapy for other things, but just not this, don't worry.
If we couldn't be afraid, we wouldn't be alive for long. We'd be walking into oncoming traffic, stepping off of cliffs, and carelessly handling poisonous snakes. In humans and all animals, the purpose of fear is to promote survival. In the course of human evolution, the people who feared the correct things survived to pass on their genes. For example, in prehistoric environments, remaining in wide open spaces would have increased the risk of being attacked by a predatory animal. This is why many people experience fear of wide and open spaces. So in the same sense, there may be evolutionary explanations to many phobias.
No. I know one, the fear of spiders.
In the world, maybe claustrophobia of space, enclosed space, maybe xenophobia and homophobia.
Heights, dark, spiders.
I would imagine they were snakes and spiders, alligators.
Insects and reptiles, animals you don't know of.
Any guesses?
Heights.
Yeah.
Being enclosed.
When the face the fear is good actually, because the more you run from your fear, the more it seems to take over and terrorise you. So there is something about stopping and facing up to what you're afraid of, and then just having the courage. And it's usually better to do it with somebody else, because it can be hard doing it on your own if you're very frightened or terrified or something. So there's always something about just taking the time to be with somebody, talk over your fears, but get it out in the open. I think the best thing to do with fear is face it and talk about it.